watching Sunday Sound Off with Frank Boal.
Evening, everyone. Welcome to Sunday Sound Off, where you get a chance to be part of the conversation on everything sports. Tweet us your questions and comments using the hashtag Sunday Sound Off. Let's introduce tonight's panel. Soren Petro, Sports Radio 810 WHB, on the program from 10 till 2 every day. Soren, how are you?
I'm doing well, Frank. Just happy to have survived Nate Bucatey's 40th birthday party on Friday night, and of course, Gary Lezak talking my ear off. So I made it, though. I'm here.
Well, that's all that counts. I was with you as well. TJ Carpenter, how are you? Sports Night on Sports Radio 810.
I'm doing very well, Frank, and I now have a new goal. It is to get you to dance on Sunday Sound Off for all of us so that we can all see your fantastic dance move that were on display at Nate Bucatey's birthday party.
That won't happen this evening. Blair Kirchhoff, KSHB star columnist. Blair, how are you tonight, sir?
Feeling pretty sad being the only person that wasn't invited to Nate Bucatey's 40th birthday party. Thanks, Nate.
All right, gentlemen, our hot topics of the evening. What free agents should the Chiefs pursue? We talk about all the guys they should sign. We'll see who they pursue. Who plays the most games in right field for the Royals? And number 3, who's the Big 12 Coach of the Year, in your opinion? But first, we're going to go to our question of the week. How does Peyton Manning's retirement impact the Chiefs? Soren, they couldn't beat the guy when he played.
Yeah, they did the one time at the end, but it impacts the Chiefs terribly. I mean, this is bad news for the Kansas City Chiefs. You know, he now clears up. They go from being $1.8 million over the salary cap to being $17+ million under it. And they've got some big free agents they need to re-sign. Malik Jackson on their defensive line, Danny Trevathan, their linebacking core, and of course Brock Osweiler, the quarterback. They now have got plenty of money to probably sign all 3 of those guys. And knowing the way the Broncos do business and how they're able to work contracts, maybe even go out and add something to this football team. Look, they weren't winning because of Peyton Manning. They were winning in spite of Peyton Manning down the stretch, taking nothing away from a brilliant career. But it was all about that defense. Now they've got a young quarterback who's got some tools that they're going to be able to put back into the mix, and they're going to be able to keep the major pieces of that defense together. This is bad news for Chiefs fans.
TJ?
Well, if nothing else, it gives you some breathing room finally. You know that Peyton Manning won the division 12 out of the 18 years he played in the league. So finally getting an opportunity for the other teams, even the 4 years he was in Denver here in the AFC West, to finally get a chance to actually maybe win the division without him in there. I think it's good. It feels refreshing. Now all of a sudden the field feels open. It doesn't feel like it's going to be dominated by one team or one player. Peyton Manning was great, and they weren't winning because of him at the very end, but he was able to do enough, even with that noodle of an arm at the very end, to where he could audible into the right situations and hand the ball off. He was handing the ball off better than Brock Osweiler was, getting them in good situations. So even though he couldn't do it with his arm at the very end, his presence was felt on the field, and you could see that all throughout the playoffs as well with Peyton Manning. So I think now at least the field is open, and finally somebody else can win the division.
All right, Blair, what do you think?
Well, I think Von Miller's retirement would have a bigger impact on the Chiefs than Peyton Manning's, but that's not going to happen. One thing it does do, it clears up a little bit of space at the top of the quarterback heap in the AFC. What's that stat? I think only, 12 or 13 years, only Brady, Manning, and Roethlisberger had won AFC titles, except for the 1 year that Flacco won it for Baltimore. So if nothing else, I think TJ's right. There may be a little bit of a psychological benefit for the rest of the AFC. But in terms of just Manning impacting the game and impacting games against the Chiefs, we saw what he did against the Chiefs this year. Chiefs should have been 2-0 against Manning instead of 1-1.
Well, I think the pressure is really going to go back on the Chiefs now to win the AFC West, despite the fact there's a team in California, the Oakland Raiders, who look like they're an up-and-coming team in this division.
$75 million under the cap, Frank. $75 million under the cap.
Man, they're going to sign. You know what? They're going to sign Sean Smith if the Chiefs don't. I'll guarantee you that much. Up next, our hot topics. You're watching Sunday Sound Off.